Hello everyone, Argsy here. Today we are taking a look at a brand new map for Farming Simulator 22. This is Chilliwack, British Columbia. It is a 4x map by Chumpy Farmer. Now this is Chumpy Farmer's first ever entry into the map making scene. He's actually relatively new to the game, and I think to tackle a 4x map up front is a very commendable effort, so well done on that. Now I'm just going to go through and read a little bit about the map that Chumpy Farmer has added on his itch.io page. There'll be links down in the description for where you can find this and download it from and have a go yourself. Let's just have a little bit of a read through what he said. Chilliwack 4X map. This is my first attempt at making a mod for Farming Simulator 22. I started playing when FS22 was released and haven't looked back since. Seeing what people have created and what the modding community has offered so far, I wanted to take a stab at learning a Giants editor and eventually down the road Blender. IRL farming in this area does not have the majority of the base game crops. Primary farming in this area is cows, silage, corn and grass. But I've left everything base game in there as it can be boring only doing those on a large map. I cannot take any credit for anything custom. I will do my best to point you to all the custom links. Now what it does contain, it does have Relight by Such Sneak. It's been built into the map. There's custom crops for wheat, barley, oat and canola by Serious Mods. There's custom corn textures by AW Modding. The realistic rolling texture by Perma's Modding. Clover and alfalfa has been added from Stone Valley by Lancey Boy. And then on top of that, it does include a co-op buying area where you can get seeds, fertilizer, lime and herbicide. The majority of the buildings on the map are from the base game maps and can be destroyed or sold to clear off and make your own farm area or make your own house or whatever building might be there. There is a working train system where you can sell your items to Alberta. He's modified the base game sheep, pig, cow and chicken pens with large pastures and made them compatible with grazing, so I'm assuming that would require maize plus. I have not made any farms as there are way too many placeable mods and packs out there that I feel this would be a great map for a build your own farm, as well as a multiplayer farm build off. Very much a create your own theme here. This is my first mod and map ever for Farming Simulator 22. No huge custom buildings or anything out of Blender. That may come in time, but for now I just want to try this out and make a map for myself to enjoy a bit of time on. Updates might happen, but honestly this was a lot, and with the new Platinum Edition stuff that just came out, it might be a while before I start to go back into Giants Editor and play around. We'll be playing in-game for a while. So there we go, that is directly from Chumpy Farmer on his itch.io page. So like I said, very commendable effort for a first up map. But let's not talk about it, let's go into the PDA. We'll take a little bit of a look at the lay of the land, and then we'll go for a little bit of a look around. I'm not going to show you everything, being a full-times map, and the detail of the size of the fields and the number of fields, we're not going to be able to get around it. Look at everything, and like I said, there's not actually farmyards or anything particular like that as a feature to go and focus on. So this is more of a general overview, and to say, hey guys, look at this new map, you might want to go and play it. So let's go and check out the PDA. So taking a look here at the PDA, now immediately I'll just point out there is two images in here. There's the base image underneath the map itself, and then there's the border image. Now the border image shows a wider part of the Chilliwack area. Chilliwack in British Columbia is just north of the US and Canada border, inland from Vancouver. So it runs along the Fraser River, and you can just see a little bit of the Fraser River there. So that gives you a bit of an idea on where we are. Now the map that is under all the fields is the actual map that the map is based on. So you can see a lot of road networks. There is a lot of buildings shown in the aerial photos. When we get in and have a quick look around the fields, you actually notice that not too many buildings have been placed. And that does give some creative license to increasing the size of fields, ploughing up and doing your own thing. Field numbers, there is 219 fields in total, and you can see the huge variety in sizes that exist. Fields 7 and 8 up here is a huge number of small fields, those three just there. Right through to the middle, where I think these are the biggest fields, 145 and 146 are both around 100 acres in total, or 100 acres each, I should say. So there's a good variety there. We do have the train system that runs through here in the corner, and you can obviously go and rent the train and sell some of your products to Alberta. We've got our main shop here in the middle where you can pick up your equipment when you do purchase it, and then you can see there's a number of fuel stations and sell points and things like that scattered around. Now in terms of where we start out, we're standing down here on the banks of this little tributary, the river down here, and you can see you do start out on New Farmer with fields 215 and 218, as well as a horse pasture and some equipment, which we'll go and have a look at. But I imagine, being a PC map, that people will set things up how they want to start off with, and as Chumpy Farmer has indicated, you might just want to go and build your own farm somewhere, and there is ample opportunity to do that. Now, as we said, we'll just take a look there. You can see we do have alfalfa and clover as custom crop types. So they are new, taken from Stone Valley by Lancey Boy. Otherwise, everything else is much the same as you would find in the base game. And if we take a look at the prices menu, you can see there is the 3 sell points there for the wheat, Alberta, which is via the train, the All Crops Co-op or Costco. You can actually buy from the co-op as well. There is a grain buy station. Just as we click through, it seems to be those are the main 2 or 3 sell points, pretty much everything. So limited variety there. There is a biogas plant there. You can see we've got that option as we scroll through that. And there is, I believe, a sawmill somewhere as well. I did see that on my travels. If we find wood, there you go. It's carpentry placeable, and there's a sawmill as well. So lots of different variety, and the ability to add your own in as you like with all the different placeables. And just to take a quick look there while we're in the menu, you can see there are contracts as well on different fields. So we've got some harvesting contracts because of the time of the year we are at, and also a spraying contract. So lots of different things you can do to start off with. So as I said, we have started out down here in the bottom of the map. You can see I've brought the mini map down there in the corner. So if we just basically spin around and head on out here, out the car parking lot, we're just going to run across the other side of the road and go and take a look at the farm you start out with on New Farmer. Then we might just go for a little bit of a fly around using the flight tools in EasyDev just to take a look at where you are and where you start out. Firstly, on the right here, you can see we've actually got custom grass textures as well. Very, very tall grass, which is nice, very definable as to where your grass fields are. See that there, that is field 218. And back here on the other side, if we go through what must be our horse pasture, come in here to the other side is field 215, which also appears to be grass. And there's a reason for having grass on the 2 starting fields. The equipment that is set up here on the starter farm is very grass heavy. So you can see we've got a massive Ferguson and a case tractor, a couple of loaders, we've got a round and a square baler, mega merger, bale wrapper, there is a tedder hidden in the back there, and both a square and round bale loader. So slightly different equipment as a starting equipment, what you might normally start out with. We've also got a cultivator and seeder on this side, a loading wagon there for the grass, and a couple of mowers, a front mounted mower and also the single rear mounted mower. So you cover a decent amount of ground with those. And lastly, the fertilizer spreader there, the Breedale spreader, so you can get your lime and fertilizer applied. And I did miss these hiding in the back there, a few front loader attachments. So nice little setup of equipment, but obviously, depending on what you're wanting to do, it might not be everyone's preference or everyone's cup of tea, so feel free to go in and customize as you like. So we're going to go for a little bit of a tour around now, flying along some of the main roads. So we're going to start back down here, still down at the start farm. We'll head on up this way towards our shop, take a quick look around those from above. Then we might just head through the middle here and go and take a look down here, because this is quite interesting how all this area here is set up at the moment, before we might just wrap down there and take a little bit of a look somewhere else as well. As we head along the road here, you can see the farm there on the left, which is our starting farm. So one of the main features I've noticed as I've had a look around here is the vast amounts of open grassland like what you're seeing here. Now on the minimap you can see this is actually quite built up and developed with sheds and different things like that. Obviously Chumpy Farmer's decided not to use any placeables or anything like that to fill it out, but he has stayed true to the field shapes, which I admire. Obviously it is a realistic interpretation of the area of Chilliwack, which is very cool. Gives you an idea on what it's like to farm in this sort of region, but it does also offer the opportunity to expand fields. For example, this field here on the left, you could actually expand this all into here, plough it up and make it a whole lot bigger. You could even choose to make that your starting farm. You've got a couple of sheds down there, looks like a stave silo there for some grass or something like that, but you could expand into that and actually build and develop quite an interesting yard in that sort of area, which is very nice. I do like that idea. I think it's very cool. Over there on our right appears to be one of the animal pastures, possibly cows, I'm not sure, but you can see it is quite a lot bigger, reminiscent also of almost of Green Valley by DJ modding, so very cool. And as we get here, you can see down there on the right, or just down in front of us there, is the sawmill, or possibly the carpentry area. The gas station there down below us. But if we come along this road here, which heads back through the middle of the map, this is our main shop area down in here. So when you purchase your equipment, it will all appear in there. And then I quite like how Chumpy Farmer has used this area, which you can see on the mini map is quite a big shed area. big warehousing, or not sure exactly what, but he's used this as one of the main silo points. So you can see there we've got a very, very big grain elevator silo complex, which is very cool. Nice way to do that. And then if you actually come around here just a little bit further through these tracks, this is the co-op area where the different buy and sell points are. So if we just come down in here, you can see on the left there we've got liquid fertilizer and herbicide in the liquid tanks. On our right we've got solid fertilizer and I believe that is lime. And then over in the silos over here we do have a seed buy point. So very nicely done. I do enjoy how that has been put together. That will be very useful, nice and accessible, easy to get a truck in and out of if you want to come down and fill up on a grand scale. Just as we carry on around here, you can see some of the larger fields on the map. So I think this is probably those two fields that I said, which were about 100 acres each. You can see nice big sizes and nice straight edges, so you could run some auto drive equipment or something like that, course play, or even just use the in-game equipment and in-game workers to do it. But there you go, you can see we've got a field area of 94 acres and a land area of 5.8, so not a lot of wasted space. But I can imagine buying both these plots, allowing them all in together, creating one big block of land. And there's plenty of opportunity to do that around here. We're just going to carry on. We'll just fly along the road here a little bit more and head down onto the other side of the map, where you can see some of these areas again, which as you look on the mini-map, the presence of sheds and different yard areas and that sort of thing. Looking on Google Earth, this is a really built up, highly developed or highly populated area. So there is lots and lots of buildings and lots going on around here. It'll be interesting to know whether this is small holdings, lots of small holdings farmed by a lot of different people, or whether there is a few larger holdings with just residents and people like that living around. Interesting thing to know. Over on the left there we've got a Costco. It's got a very popular car park by the looks of things. But here, this is one that I found quite interesting. We've got these little plots here which have some fencing in between. Obviously you could probably sell the fencing and things like that, but I thought this would be a great little spot if you wanted to add any of your own production points in. Different things, you could actually use these plots and develop this into a little bit of a production focused area. That would be quite a neat way to deal with those, because there is limited productions placed on the map in general. But here we are pretty much over the other side. You can see the grain elevator there in the distance, and it just gives you a really nice outlook on exactly what this map is like. Lots of fields, lots of space, but lots of opportunity to really grow and develop by ploughing things up and making this really your own map. I think it's got a real opportunity to be almost a no man's land or a Western Wilds or something like that in terms of how you could develop the area, while also remaining a realistic type map with the different road networks and different points of interest that you can go and make the use of. So I do really like that aspect of it. Chumpy Farmer has done a great job. We're just running along the road heading away from the town area where we just were, north of the Costco. We're heading away from the Costco and just thought we'd go down a little bit lower. You can see some traffic there on the road, just to give you a little bit of an idea of the landscape. It is very flat, very flat through here. You can see the hills in the distance, which from the photos I've seen of this area is exactly what it's like in the valley between some mountains and hills and things like that. As we come across here, you can see again just lots of these houses, lots of these little blocks and dwellings and things like that, with fields that wrap around what would have been sheds, different parts of the area. But what I did want to come over and have a look, I spot a little bit larger over here we're just going to go look at. So just in here, this is the main train area. So if you want to sell your product via the train, this is where you'd come to empty out your trucks or whatever and load them into the train. Quite a nice little industrial complex actually. I could see some nice role play coming out of here with some haulage or something like that for the different farms. You could set up as a cartage contractor or some sort of trucking operation or something like that. I think could be quite a nice little use of this area. So again, the effort that Chumpy has gone into in creating some of these, I'm actually quite impressed. It was not what I expected when I first opened the map up, when I first had a look and saw some of this. So it's nice to see these little pockets of development, pockets of consideration around it, while keeping that air of flexibility that exists over the rest of the map. And then if we come across here, this looks like it probably appears to be the animal dealer. So this is where you'd be able to come and buy all your animals and pick them up, take them back to your farm. Now there was in total there's 15 different animal pens scattered across the map. There is 5 cows, 3 sheep, 4 pigs and 3 horses across the area. So lots of different options. Again, if you wanted to focus on that, you could go and find some of those farms and buy those, and that could be what you wanted to do here on Chilliwack. So as I said at the start, that was going to be a very quick overview, a very brief look at this map. There's not, like I said, a huge amount of features to go and really delve into and highlight and show off, but I thought having this general overview of the map might give you more of an idea of what it is about, a quicker and more concise preview where you can decide if it's worth you, if it's going to download it or not. I think I might give it a go. We might see about doing something on this and maybe building our own farmyard and developing something up from there. I do like a lot of the aspects of it. I think there is some real potential here. See this map go somewhere. We're just going over the BGA down there below us, you can see. But I do like the aspects of having a lot of open land that you can develop while still creating and having the feel of a realistic map. It's really well done, and it's something I don't think we've seen done in Farming Simulator 22 yet. So I think, well done Chumpy Farmer for your first ever efforts in a Farming Simulator map. I think you've done a fantastic job. Now I will leave links down in the description to his itch.io page where you can go and find the map, download it, and of course you can provide any feedback there to him on anything you'd like to see potentially added in the future or what you like about it. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Let me know if you think you might download it and have a go on it. I'd love to see what people do and how they might play here on this map. But that is all from me. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed that map tour, and I will catch you in the next one.